Good morning, I'm Makenna Baily with your local news update. A man was rushed to hospital last night following a single vehicle crash at Twin Waters. Paramedics were called to the incident at the Majimba boat ramp shortly after 8 o'clock. The male patient, aged in his 60s, was transported to Nambour Hospital with minor facial injuries. He was in a stable condition. Also making news today, Sunshine Coast locals who won't have to show proof of vaccination at most venues across Queensland from next week. As of 1 a.m. next Thursday, unvaccinated people will be allowed to head to pubs, cafes and bars. But Health Minister Vet Darth says it's important we continue to protect the most vulnerable in our community. Meanwhile, Sunshine Coast locals who lose 7 days of income due to COVID isolation may be eligible for a $450 or $750 lump sum payment from the federal government. The Pandemic Leave Disaster Payment is available for anyone requiring to isolate due to being positive, a close contact or taking care of a positive person. If you're unable to work and have lost at least a full day of work and are not receiving any sick leave, you may be eligible. To today's weather forecast now, a partly cloudy Wednesday expected in Noosa and similar conditions for Caloundra, reaching a high of 27 degrees. That's all of your local news for now. Good afternoon. Emergency services were kept busy across the Sunshine Coast yesterday afternoon, with crews called to a number of incidents. Firstly, around 3:45, paramedics rushed to a vehicle and pedestrian incident in Maroochydore. One stable patient was transported from the corner of Baden-Powell Street and Maroochydore Road to Sunshine Coast University Hospital. Meanwhile, crews responded to reports of a two-vehicle crash in Mountain Creek around 4:20. 2 people were taken from the Bundilla Boulevard scene to hospital for further treatment. They were both in stable conditions. Also making news today, Sunshine Coast venues are celebrating a welcome economic boost just in time for the Easter long weekend, with the vaccine mandate to be lifted in most public places across the state from next Thursday. People will no longer need to prove they've had 2 doses of the vaccine before heading into pubs, clubs and cafes. The changes also include cinemas, restaurants, museums, libraries, showgrounds and weddings. But Health Minister Vet Darth says the requirements will still apply in vulnerable settings. And Telstra has announced it will increase the number of staff and employees to support customers in rural and regional areas of Australia like the Sunshine Coast. It comes after the recent Regional Telecommunications Review found customer service staff employed by telcos often had a poor grasp of regional connectivity issues. The company will spend $75 million responding to the report. And it wasn't the start to the QAFL season our Maroochydore Roos were after. The seniors were outplayed by the Labrador Tigers, suffering a 136-61 point loss, while the reserves were also defeated by the Tigers 81-20. The Roos will be looking for redemption when they take on Surfers Paradise on Saturday. Good evening. A person was rushed to Nambour Hospital after falling on a walking track at Udlow this morning. They were in a stable condition when transported from the Mossy Bank Road scene around 8 o'clock. Meanwhile, local Leighton Chick will represent Queensland in the National Under-19 Men's Cricket Championship. He'll join the country side to take part in the competition in Mackay tomorrow. A top of 27 degrees in Noosa tomorrow. I'll see you soon. Good evening. The school holiday celebrations are continuing at Australia Zoo this week. Each day between now and Easter Monday, a member of the Irwin family will be conducting a live crocodile feeding show, while locals are invited to join a number of Easter-themed festivities. And the Maroochydore Roos were defeated in round 1 of the QAFL. They suffered a 136-61 point loss against the Labrador Tigers. Good evening. Queensland has reported more than 8,500 new COVID cases overnight. Here on the Sunshine Coast, 146 infections were detected, while hospitalisations have decreased slightly, with 468 patients currently admitted across the state, including 14 in ICU. And 1 COVID-related death has also been recorded. In other news, the state government has taken aim at the federal government amid the ongoing flood recovery efforts. The Prime Minister last night refused to jointly fund half of Queensland's $741 million residential flood recovery package, which is designed to aid impacted Sunshine Coast residents. Acting Premier and Treasurer Cameron Dick says Scott Morrison is leaving Queenslanders on their own in a time of crisis. And a bumper week of cricket kicks off with the Under-19 National Championships getting underway tomorrow in Mackay. For the first time ever, Queensland is fielding two teams, a country and metro side, who will go head-to-head in the opening match. Our country side will then play an Under-17 side from New South Wales, including the Sunshine Coast Latin chick. To tomorrow's weather forecast, showers developing in Noosa and similar conditions in Caloundra, reaching a high of 27. I'm Makenna Baily. Have a good night.